What's cooking, Bianconeri? Welcome back to your lady's favorite YouTube channel. Today we have you Max Allegri's press conference covering what he previews for the Derby Della Mole against Torino in a big match, something that's really important going into the international break. Have to get off on a high note, have to get 3 more points, have to instill your place for Juventus in the Serie A table to keep climbing back up. Stick with us. We'll fill you in now. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back. You're in the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today is Friday, October 1st, 2021. It's a beautiful Friday before the Derby Della Mole. And all that we can expect going on against playing Torino, we have to get a win. As you know, Juventus needs to get a win. And hopefully we can see some positivity, continue to move on from what we witnessed against beating Chelsea and beating the European champions. If you go from beating the European champions and you go against Torino and you lose, 2 steps forward, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, that kind of situation. I believe that they will get this done. Let's talk about what exactly Max Allegri said and what he thinks heading into this big match. But before we do that, please go ahead and hit that like button, smash that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel, and also hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. First up, let's go ahead and just get into what he was saying. First comments he had, he said Jorge is doing a great job. He has conveyed concepts to his team that represent the Toro spirit, being nice to his, his counterpart, his Torino counterpart. He has done a good job. We have to give him credit. He has done a good job compared to what we've seen out of Torino the last few years. He said, Torino don't give away much. We need to be very patient tomorrow. For Torino, tomorrow will be like the match of a lifetime. It's the derby, and they're preparing for it to be the maximum. It will be even more difficult than, and I got cut off for some reason. Maybe they meant in the Chelsea match. One thing I have to say, and I have to comment right here, is he's doing something that usually annoys me so much here in the United States when teams do this. Allegri is saying that for Torino, this would be the match of a lifetime. It's the derby, whatever, it means everything to them. The reason that it bothers me is so many people, there's so many local teams here that think they're bigger and then they're not. And I'm not saying Juventus is one of the teams that isn't bigger than they are, than what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is so many teams do this where they're like, of course that team's going to play up to the hype because it's their Super Bowl. I'm talking about a local team, Kentucky. I'm talking about them. That's what I'm talking about, though. They do it every single time a team plays up to beating them. It was their Super Bowl, not, oh, maybe they just kicked our bleeps. Maybe that's what happened, kind of thing. It annoys me so much when people do this, but I'll give Allegri a pass. It's fine. It's fine. It'll mean a lot because it is the Derby, just the same as the Derby d'Italia should mean a lot to Juventus and Inter or whatever have you. But at the same time, I just kind of roll my eyes a little bit anytime anybody says it'll be such a big match for them. No, bro, it's a big match for you too. Come on, let's get real. We want to win this match. It's important, and it's a big match not just because of who they're playing, but because of the standings in Serie A. Just a personal little nitpick on mine. He continued on to say, tomorrow we need to sort out the league table a bit more. The Derby Della Mole is a perfect occasion with the fans returning to the stadium. And he says, on paper, we have points less than expected. We have to make up for them. In addition, let's see if we can bring home a win to spend the break in a more relaxed way. Let's use the positive energy here. Again, another good situation where I think it is important that they end up winning. They have to win Torino. They have to beat Torino. They have to win this match because you need those 3 points. Right now, I feel like it would be, I don't want to say it wouldn't be devastating, but it would be very detrimental to come in there and go out with a loss. Got to get those 3 points. I'm just repeating myself at this point, but it's very important. It's the same thing I've been saying. There's no excuse to lose this match. That's what I'm trying to get to is honestly overall, I feel like Juventus, they kind of told on themselves against Chelsea. If you can come out and play that way against Chelsea with losing 2 of your top strikers and you can come out there and play that well and that strongly, yes, maybe your offensive attack could have been better. Could have had a couple more finishes. Honestly, it could have been a 2-0 game at least. Of course, you could say that about every single match. It could have been 2-3-0 early, and then, that's what happens. But overall, I think they're telling on themselves, at any time now, you should be under more scrutiny against some of these teams that you should be beating. I feel like, I feel like they've been under scrutiny the entire time, but let's get real. All right. And then he said, Szczesny and Chiellini are starting tomorrow, which is good. Szczesny performed well last match. I would expect, obviously it's different because of Chiellini, but Chiellini's Chiellini. I would almost expected them to play the exact same lineup that they did against Chelsea because of that. He says Arthur trained with the team. He's a player who raises the quality level of the team. It's possible that Archer and Kaior will be on the bench tomorrow. That's interesting. There we go. Finally, I've been begging. You all have been reaching out to me, letting me know that he was there. He was posting he's alive, whatever have you. But Kaior Jorge finally maybe on the bench tomorrow. But man, I guess that means he's healed. Or so what's the status on his injury? Was he injured? How injured was he? Can somebody give me some information there? I'm so confused about what was going on with Kaior Jorge overall. But anyway, he may be on the bench tomorrow, so that will be interesting to see if he'll actually get some playing time in the near future. And then he goes on to say, Bernardeschi had a good game against Chelsea, especially on a physical level. Then on a performance level, he created the play of the goal. Now Chelsea must be put aside. The Derby is here. So it's time for him to call. I think it's kind of calling out Bernardeschi, saying it's time for you to step up big time and be what you can be for Juventus going forward. I know a lot of guys are not very positive when it comes to Bernardeschi, expecting what you expect out of him. But overall, hopefully he can give another performance, especially if he's going to be starting again. If he can at least do, and this, again, this is sad. It's sad that I have to say this, but it is what it is. Bernardeschi is what Bernardeschi is. At this point, if he can give you a performance like he gave you last time, which is, to be honest, an average performance for a good player, so be it. I would be happy with that, at least through the remainder of his contract, if he can give you that, effort. I guess is the way I'm trying to say it. All right. Anyway, it said Dybala and Chiesa together up top against Empoli. I played them together, but then there were a lot of different games with different characteristics, and that is something important to take into consideration when they're doing this and who they want to use and where they want to use certain guys. Maybe it won't be a good idea to use them against. And I'll be honest, I don't know that much about Torino. We'll be breaking down Torino later today. Julian and Alejandro will be able to do that for you all later, going into what we expect to have there. But obviously it doesn't matter because Dybala can't play today anyway, or yesterday or tomorrow. Anyway, he goes on to say Bentancur sometimes makes mistakes because he's too generous. Locatelli had a good, aggressive, and technical game against Chelsea. He did. I felt like Locatelli had a good game in the first half at least. Second half faltered a little bit, but I do what he says, what he means. But then Bentancur, Bentancur did not have a great game. He and Rabiot both struggled against Chelsea, but it wasn't anything strongly detrimental to the team. It's hard to say that when it's the midfield, but you know what I'm trying to get by there. Wasn't great, but didn't lose us the game. I think he says Bentancur always gives his all so much. He's a selfish or selfless player. Sorry, Bentancur. He's a selfless player. He did so against Chelsea, so that's fine. Again, my opinion on Bentancur isn't overwhelmingly positive. To be honest, I'm not a Bentancur guy. I'm more interested to see what can happen when you talk about guys like you did in the last slide about Archer coming in. I want to see him playing with Locatelli and seeing how they vibe and how they work well together. Hopefully a better player can bring more than, a Rabiot, a Ramsey, a Bentancur this time. So we'll see what happens there, but that's something I'm interested in and seeing if that will continue to grow and do better overall for the team. Anyway, that's basically what Allegri had to say. Not a lot really going into this. Didn't want to give all his cards, show his cards, because he knows how important of a match this is. Then Juventus has to walk away with 3 points. If they play like they did against Chelsea, I think that they should. I think I should be confident that they should win this game. But for some reason, when Juventus gets into the Serie A, maybe it's because they're clubs that see them week in and week out every year. Maybe they can have a better feel for the players and what they're going up against. So that's a little bit unfortunate. Hopefully it'll work out for them tomorrow. Bring home keep the win, whatever you want to say. Bring home the win against Torino, and then hopefully we can refocus, rest over the international break, besides the guys, obviously, they're playing for Italy, but then come back stronger and kind of put a restart on the season when it comes to the Serie A and really winning, even though they've been winning the last 2 matches in Serie A, but to be honest, 3-2 against Sampdoria and Spezia ain't going to cut it against some of the top tier teams in the league. But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Are you confident going into the match tomorrow that they will pull out another win? I know some of you guys are confident about Chelsea. Let me know if you're confident about this match as well. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts, giving the topic and giving their what standings in the city off. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. Make sure you follow Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you follow me at Justin Sofro on Twitter, and make sure you follow my boy Julian Genotti at Genotti151 as well. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.